I recently spoke at a digital marketing conference and I asked attendees how many of them posted blog or knowledge-based information stuff on their website. Lots and lots of people doing that. I then asked how many of them were happy with the volume of leads that activity generated. Crickets. Now it turns out that there's a lot of this sort of thing going on out there. People spending time and energy writing blogs, making videos, recording podcasts, posting all over their social, basically doing lots of content stuff. By the way, did I ever tell you I hate that word? But anyway, doing lots of content stuff and not generating a business result, whether that's leads or sales. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to supercharge your content to generate leads. I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can start implementing right away. And by the way, this information comes from us working with, analyzing, consulting, and advising over 1,500 businesses a year. So when we do our website and marketing review for people, we're able to dig into exactly what they're doing well, what their competitors are doing well, and we're often able to access Google Analytics, which shows us exactly how their content is performing. This gives us a really good understanding of what's going on out there and what's working really well, and also what really isn't. So the tips I'm going to share with you today are condensed from all of that learning. Let's do it. Now, if you're fed up with posting stuff on your website or posting on social or making videos or podcasts and not getting anything from it, you are not alone. Recently, I was doing a no-cut teardown of Best Self Co. Now, Best Self Co is a company I massively admire, love their products. Basically, productivity journals and card decks for building relationships and diaries for kids, that type of stuff. The clue is in the name. They're products to help you become your best self. So I was delighted when I went on their website and found that they had this big content section called the Best Self Hub, which you can see on the screen here. What made me really happy was the fact that the topics they were talking about were the exact sort of topics I would expect them to talk about, based on their business being all around productivity and proactivity and dealing with overwhelm, reducing stress and anxiety, journaling, that type of stuff, which is exactly the sort of stuff that they're sharing on their website. And I was pumped. And you might think, great, they're doing a really good job. But then I checked the data. I threw it into SE Ranking, which is a fantastic SEO tool that you can use to kind of reverse engineer how a website is doing. By the way, you can get a free trial at bestninjatool.com. And I was horrified because what I saw in SE Ranking was that whilst these posts look good on the surface, actually they weren't driving much traffic at all. Not only that, the entire Best Self Co website wasn't driving that much traffic. But I was so disappointed in this content hub because those sorts of topics, productivity, journaling, these are things that people can disappear into a rabbit hole about. You have entire ecosystems, communities, Reddit groups, all about productivity. So these should be content topics that get loads of traction and loads of organic reach, but they're just not doing it. And this is a fairly common experience. A lot of businesses put time and energy into their content without getting much traffic from it. So that's the first problem. The second problem is this. This is a much more niche business, so there's much less potential traffic for them to acquire. Now, here we can see the top 21 blogs on this particular website, which again is much more niche. So although you're seeing a relatively small volume of traffic here for this particular time period, which is a week, actually for a business like this, they're picking up a good percentage of what's out there to get. So this isn't too shabby. So they're getting 5,500 visits or 5,300 visits in this time period. And they might be thinking, great, this is really cool. We're getting a good amount of traffic for our market with these topics, with this blog content. But the trouble is over there in the goal completions, it's over there in the conversions section. They're getting hardly any leads from this stuff. And what's worse is that those leads are a combination of job applicants and legitimate inquiries. So they're getting very little business benefit from all this activity. So here we've got these two problems. We've got low traffic, and then you might be getting traffic, but you're still getting low conversions. Now the end result is basically the same. Not many leads for the content you're posting. The good news, it doesn't have to be like this. This is one of our clients, a fantastic business called Chas. Now, I'm not showing you anything that isn't publicly available, so I'm not taking you into their analytics. I'm not giving you anything confidential. Everything I'm showing you can be readily seen through SE ranking. Just wanted to make that 100% clear. But with Chas, we've made a real focused effort to prioritize content in their marketing. Now, Chas is a business that sells certifications to contractors. So if you want to go and get a government contract, for example, well, they will like it if you've got a Chas certification that shows that you're accredited and that you're acceptable. Now, this is a very competitive space and one that Chas has built a really good brand awareness in. Nevertheless, here we can see that 19 of their top 22 pages on their website for organic traffic are blog and content pages. So this means that for all of the branded traffic that they're getting, and they've got incredible brand awareness, we are absolutely crushing it with the content on this website. It's generating so much traffic. SE Ranking is estimating 80,000 visits a month just through the content pages on their website. Here's another example, a business at a very different scale, but absolutely crushing it with content. This is a boutique legal firm in a very local area, but again, crushing it with their content on their website. So what they've done, or what we've done with them, is write blog posts about different topics which are highly relevant to their audience. These blogs drive leads. In fact, they drive a lot of leads. In fact, they drive about 50% as many leads as all of the rest of their digital marketing combined. So if you're doing well with digital, but your content strategy isn't working, well, then you can just add another 50% leads on top of the stuff that you're already getting. So this shows you how much potential there is. So why should a business like this be driving more organic traffic to their content than a business like Best Self? Well, it's because of the three things I'm going to show you. So I'm going to give you 3 tips today. One is going to be focused on driving more traffic to your content. One is going to be focused on driving both traffic and conversions, and one is going to be focused purely on generating more conversions. Let's do this. Okay, tip number 1. This is going to sound so obvious, but I guarantee if you go on a blog post or a content piece on your website that isn't ranking and you want it to rank, you're going to kick yourself. Tip number 1. If you want to rank a piece of content, make sure it deserves to rank. Want to rank? Deserve to rank. Here you go. Right, let me explain. Going back to this business, Chas, fantastic business. One of the terms that we wanted to target was the phrase Common Assessment Standard. Now, this is a competitive search term. Lots of businesses and high-profile organizations want to rank and want to get traffic for this. We dominated with Chas, and we dominated by deserving to rank. So if you search for Common Assessment Standard, you'll see Chas is the featured snippet here. We've got images being picked up. We've got a piece of text being picked up as well. Let's have a look at the page that is ranking. Now, we knew that for such a competitive term, we were going to need to be absolutely sick. We were going to have to build a killer page that was going to crush everyone else in its path. And that is exactly what we did with them. So this is a well-optimized page with lots of content. It's interesting. It's got videos, it's got images, it's got CTAs, it's got internal links, it's got subheadings which give you all the information that you could possibly need about this topic. Then it's got embedded reviews as well. Then we've got links to other articles about this topic. This is a killer page on a killer website built by Exposure Ninja, and it deserves to rank. Now, if we'd have turned up at this fight with a tiny little page with 150 words of copy and some pretty basic design, there's no way this would have ranked. Google is looking at what happens when people land on your page and do they go back to search because they didn't get the information they need. So we need to give them everything that they can possibly need about this topic and just make it a great page. Now, let's think again about Best Self Co. Remember, this was a content section on their site that on the surface of it looked like it was going to be doing fantastically well. It looked like they had the right topics. They've got all these subcategories as well. They've got these posts which are about the exact sort of thing that Best Self Co customers will be looking for and that have decent search volume. But let's look at this post. 3 powerful ways to unlock your creativity. Well, we might want to rename this something like how to be more creative in 3 steps, but that's by the by. What we get here is basically just pure text. There's 3 tips, fine, okay. The information is probably good, but honestly, I can't bring myself to read it because it's so dryly presented. So they could have embedded some images here. They could have embedded tweets. They could have had a video version of this where they get the writer of the article to talk through things. They could have done so much with this to make it more engaging. So does this deserve to rank for a search term like how to be more creative? No, it doesn't, and it never will. So our first tip is deserve to rank. What is this all about? Well, it's about the amount of information that you're sharing. It's the length of your piece. It's the detail that you go into. It has to be better than anybody else's. It's also about structuring it to be useful. So remember all those subheadings which help people find the information that they need. That's really important. If it's a really long piece, you can use a table of contents which is linkable so people can click on the section that's most relevant to them. And of course, make it interesting. Don't just give people a boring block of text because they'll go back to search. This information might be fantastic. It might be the best creativity inspiring information in the world. But ironically, for a post that's all about creativity, I can't be bothered to read it because it's so uninspiring. If you want it read, make it interesting. If it's not just your content that's driving you mad, but your entire business, and you're like, we want to be driving more leads or sales than we're getting at the moment, then there is free help available from the Exposure Ninja free website and digital marketing review. Go to exposureninja.com/review to request your free review today. It's awesome. One of the team will analyze everything that you're doing currently with your digital marketing. They'll show you how to improve it to generate more leads and sales. And they'll put all of this into a 15-minute video, which they'll send over to you by email, usually within 2 to 3 working days. It's killer. There's no obligation to use our service and it's completely free of charge. So go to exposureninja.com/review today. Tip number 2, meet the user where they are. Here's a search term that I make every so often, and I do it because you see the best digital marketing on the planet. Anything within porn, pills, or casino, you're going to be seeing extremely competitive digital marketing. And one of my favorite websites that ranks for this term is Dr. Fox. Now, Dr. Fox has a huge amount of informational content on their website, even on their key product pages like this one here, which we're looking at, which is their Viagra page. Now, if we think about the audience that is buying Viagra, yes, you've got people that buy it all the time. They know the prices, they know exactly what they need. It's just a transactional purchase for them. But the audience that we really have to put the work into is the people that haven't bought before. And if you've never bought Viagra before, you're going to have loads of questions. This is a scary purchase on so many different levels. So they need to do a really good job of giving you the content which meets you where you are, which is a place of fear and trepidation and uncertainty, and helps you along that journey. And that is exactly what they do. Look at the amount of information on this page. We've got very surface level information at the top. Then we've got information about generic Viagra, prices, more information about Viagra. That's called a Johnson box. How does it work? How do you take it? Does it work every time? Side effects, warnings, recreational misuse, different products, alternative treatment, why do men get erectile dysfunction? Then we've got all of these accordions with even more information as well. We've got information about who wrote this piece. By the way, did it in 2012. Whatever they paid for it, they got good value. Then we've got embedded reviews. Then we've got the order process, then supplementary information. There is so much information here meeting this person who is terrified about this purchase, exactly where they are, and helping them along that journey. Now, here at Exposure Ninja, we help businesses get more leads through their website, and we're a digital marketing agency. All of our work, all of our clients come to us from inbound leads because we believe if you can't get leads as a marketing agency, then you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. I've never understood why digital marketing agencies need to do outbound. You know, those spam emails that you get from SEO companies. Like, if you're only good at SEO, surely you don't need to spam people to get leads. Anyway, another story. All of our leads at Exposure Ninja come through the free website and digital marketing review, which is a fantastic service where you tell us a bit of information about your business and we record your video showing you how to get more leads and sales through your website. It's awesome. Completely free of charge, no obligation to use our services. That's how all of our leads come in. Now, I'm going to show you 2 blog posts on our website, and their performance is very different. Now, I'm actually going to show you the Google Analytics stats. So these 2 blog posts, the first blog post is how to extract URLs from archive.org. Now, this is a fantastic blog. It's a really in-depth blog about something which is a really useful thing to be able to do. Basically, there's this thing called the Wayback Machine. If you want to see a website from different periods of time, you can go on the Wayback Machine and you can see what Facebook looked like in 2005 or whatever. It's great fun. First time you use it, absolute riot. You'll have a great time looking at your own website, your competitors' websites, all that stuff. Really good. Anyway, but when you're clicking around this, sometimes people want to know how to get the URL of a particular page. So we wrote this amazing guide on exactly how to do that. Now we wrote another blog post called "Why Isn't My Website Making Sales?" Now you've probably guessed what that post is about. It's about why is my website making any sales? There's some things that you can look through, different reasons why your site might not be making sales and how to diagnose it basically. So over the period of time shown in this Google Analytics snapshot, those two articles had a very similar amount of traffic. The archive.org one actually had more traffic than the Why Isn't My Website Making Any Sales? But the leads that they generated were very, very different. So the archive.org one converted at 0.08%, bringing 3 leads. The Why Isn't My Website Making Any Sales one converted at 5.40%, generating 181 leads. That's 60 times as many leads for the same, or actually less, traffic. So what's the deal here? What explains this difference in performance? Well, it's all about this thing, meet your audience where they are. If we think about what the post "All About My Website Isn't Making Any Sales" is designed to do, it's designed to fix a pain. And that pain is, my website isn't making any sales. Now think back to our call to action. Our call to action is free website and marketing review. Request your free review, we'll show you how to generate more leads to your website. Right? Now I'm going to pitch 2 things to you. Keep in mind, our call to action is the free website and marketing review. That's how we get leads as an agency. First pitch. If you want to find out how to extract the URLs from an archive.org website, then you can do this, 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 and this. And by the way, if you want help with your digital marketing, request a free marketing review. How compelling is that? Well, the call to action is completely unrelated to the intent, right? Yes, there's a chance that someone who's doing that activity might be interested in becoming a lead, but it's a small chance. Compare that to this. You Google, "Why isn't my website making any sales?" You find an excellent post which gives you some of the different reasons that your website might not be making sales. There's then a call to action which says, if your website's not making any sales or you want to make more sales, then fill in the free review form. We will help you identify exactly why your website isn't making any sales in a video totally free of charge. That is much more compelling, and it's meeting the audience exactly where they are. It's solving a pain point for our customers, compared to the other post, which is great, fantastic, but there's much less chance of that viewer becoming a customer. So this comes down to the buyer journey. Now there's loads of different models that you can use for this, whether it's attention, interest, desire, action, whatever, curiosity, research, intent. There are loads of different language options for a buyer journey, for a marketing funnel, but they all basically look like this. And what they have is top of funnel content, which is very broad, doesn't have much intent to purchase at all, being funneled down, whereas at the bottom, they are ready to purchase. And most of our businesses will have a marketing funnel like that. What you will find is that content targeted towards the bottom of your funnel will tend to have a higher conversion rate for lead generation. So if you want to generate leads through your content, having high ranking content, which is really good quality, which is targeted at the problems and the challenges and the pain that your customers have right at that point of purchase, is usually the best way to get a high conversion rate. Now, that's not to say you don't want content on your website targeting the awareness stage of the marketing funnel. Absolutely you do, because the volume there is huge, absolutely huge. That's why it's a very wide stripe in all the diagrams, because there are loads of people searching for that. But if you want that content, you have to pitch a different type of call to action to it. And that's what we're going to cover in the next tip. So meet your customers where they are. Remember, this is about giving them all of the information that they need to be able to work through their objections, but also choosing the topics of your content based on their pain points where they actually are. Okay, tip 3 is to use appropriate lead bait. We're going to play a little game here. Now, I was having fun for this presentation at this marketing conference, and I thought it would be a good idea, because I'm a part-time comedian, to match some horrendously inappropriate calls to action with different search terms to illustrate this common mistake that people make. Okay, so imagine for a second Someone Googles, why does my husband's breathing annoy me? We all know at least one person who would Google this. I know two. Luckily, neither of them is my wife, probably. So let's say that you go through to a blog post all about this, and here's the call to action that you see. Free consultation? Ready for the next step? Talk to one of our expert divorce solicitors. Schedule a free call. What's going to be the conversion rate on that? I actually don't know, but I would suspect that it's low because that's too much too soon, right? I mean, some people are probably watching this thinking, oh, great idea. What about this one? Someone Googles, I'm cold. Go through to a blog post, schedule your free consultation, ensure a smooth transition to Spain. To properly assist you in your move to Spain, we'll schedule a free consultation with you. Too much? Too soon? Yeah. What about this one? I'm locked out of my house. The best smart locks of 2021 ranked with an affiliate link. It's too late. That's not what I need right now. Now, whilst all of these three calls to action are actually fantastic in the right context, matched with these topics, they are completely wrong. And I'm showing you these to illustrate a point. So many people are posting very top of funnel awareness level content, and they are trying to force through a commercial call to action. So if we go back to this buyer journey illustration, what we don't want to do is pitch people at the awareness stage who are coming through for awareness level content. We don't want to pitch them with get started now, free trial, do this, book a consultation, because that's going to be too soon for them. Instead, we might want to go for something like a cheat sheet or a download. What about people at the interest level? They're a bit warmer, they're starting to move down the funnel. Well, we might want to invite them to our mailing list, although we would never call it a mailing list. You might call this your tip list or your insiders club or members club or whatever it might be. But with these people, because they are more qualified, they are more interested and invested in the process, you're going to be able to sell them onto something which is a longer timeline thing, right? You're going to be getting multiple emails from this. It's time to start building a relationship. Once people move into the consideration phase, then it's time to start offering things like free consultations, which are fantastic and we absolutely love them. And of course, when you get to the intent stage, then it might be get started if that's a simple thing to do, or it might be a version of that through a consultation. So the important lesson here is to match the stage of the user journey with the call to action. So there you have it, 3 tips to supercharge your website content to generate more leads. Firstly, get it ranking by deserving to rank. Secondly, meet your audience where they are. Talk about the things which are relevant and painful to them and offer solutions. And offer those things in enough detail that you work through any objections or fears that they might have. And thirdly, use an appropriate bait to turn them into a lead. Think of that buyer journey, the marketing funnel. Make sure that the call to action that you have is at the right stage for the content that you're posting. If you're posting awareness content, go with a call to action that makes sense. If you're posting intent, highly commercial intent content, then post a high commercial intent call to action, but remove the risk by making it free or low commitment. I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We're suckers for the subs. And leave us a comment below if your partner's breathing annoys you, because we know a great firm of divorce solicitors. Until next time, see you soon.